Hello, Steve89. Well, Netflix is in trouble. They've been in trouble for a while. I used to have Netflix as my standard, always had it, always subscribed to it, and then I just get additional shows if they had things I was interested in. And then the whole cuties thing happened, and it was clear that they really cared more about money than their subscribers or I don't know, morality. Decency. So yeah, I stopped subscribing then, and I haven't really gone back, and I don't really miss it. And I'm quite happy to see it kind of die. Honestly, I don't feel bad for Netflix because after that, of course, there were the Dave Chappelle specials and a bunch of comedy specials, all which were homophobic and transphobic, and well, they made money, so they kept pushing them, and then they had their own employees protesting, and they didn't exactly treat them well either. So yeah, and then we just started to see a gradual decline, and we knew this was coming because platforms were being built by studios that had formerly had all their content on Netflix. So they were always going to pull their content from Netflix, and this was always going to be something that happened. Like once upon a time, Netflix was the only show in town, and now it's just one of. So it had to drop down a bit back in line with those other streaming platforms, which none of them are going to get the sort of foothold that Netflix had. They're always going to stay small, and there'll probably be some that fade away, and eventually we just end up with a core bunch that we sort of stick with. But yeah, Netflix, they lost 200,000 subscribers last quarter, and everyone freaked out and they started firing people and cancelling shows, and stocks went down and everyone was freaking out. And then they did predict they would lose 2 million this quarter. But it's okay, they lost less than 1 million, so apparently it's good now. I'm like, no, you lost 970,000. It's pretty bad. And these are not real numbers because they did this really nasty, tricky thing, because the only thing they've got is Stranger Things. And what they did to stretch their subscribers over 2 quarters was they launched season 4 of Stranger Things. They launched it at the end of June and showed the bulk of the season, and then left the last 2 episodes for the start of July. So all those people who subscribed for June would have stayed for July so they could get Stranger Things. They weren't going to unsubscribe and then subscribe again. Or even if they did, that would still split that fan base, basically have them all signed up over those 2 months, those 2 quarters. And that's helped them this month because there's, I guess, millions of people who only subscribe for Netflix, only subscribe for Stranger Things, who are there for that count and who are going to be there for the next count, but they won't be there for the one after that. The quarter after that, the Stranger Things audience will not be there. And I'm not sure Stranger Things did as well this season as it did last season. And it is their only show. Because when people started pulling their content, they really needed to rely on their own content to, keep people with them. And they haven't done so well with that. They've had shows that were popular, but they cancelled because they weren't profitable enough, I guess. And they weren't really thinking in terms of long-term content. I don't know what they'll think. I don't know what they're thinking in general. And just to even prove that, they're also doing something they swore they'd never do. They're actually doing an ad-based subscription. So you basically pay less and you have ads, which is something Netflix said they would never do. They'd never have ads in shows. You'd always be able to watch Netflix and not have your shows or movies be interrupted by ads. And I'm not going to watch a subscription show, pay for it like that, with ads. I'll use the commercial channels that they have their own streaming services, and you have to watch ads, but they're free basically. So I'll watch them. I'll watch my shows on those platforms. I'm not going to pay $10, $15, $20 for a streaming service just to watch ads, just like commercial TV or their streaming services. So Netflix is kind of done so far as being the leader. It's going to take a while for the numbers to slowly, quarter by quarter, drop down to some sort of... They'll bottom out at some point, and that's sort of where they'll sit in line with the other smaller subscription services, streaming services. That's my sort of prediction. And I'm happy to see that happen because I really wasn't happy with their treatment of the transphobia in David Chappelle's videos, and the don't want to talk about cuties. The fact that they cared more about money than they did about right or wrong. So yeah, and I know that sounds stupid, but still, the only way to protest is with my dollar. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I thought they were going to lose more than 1 million. I thought 970 was actually pretty good, but that's because of the whole Stranger Things, thing they did, where they split the Stranger Things premiere over 2 quarters, and that audience is that's not what their numbers are now, and not what they will be in the near future. Bye.